All right, so if you're on this page with the quiz, I'm going to just give you a little preview of each of these images to give you some background on the ads, and then I'll ask you to spend some time matching each ad with one of the needs we've just discussed. I've tried to choose one need for each ad. So the first ad is for Jamaria Hotels and Resorts, which is an vacation place in India. So you can look for a minute at that image. Woman guiding a panther through a hotel lobby. Next ad is for DuPont cellophane. You can see this is an older ad, and the tagline is "The best things in life come in cellophane." Ad number 3 is for Invisalign braces alternative. The tagline is "The less you wear, the more they look. Get noticed in Invisalign." Number 3. Number 4 is a Jennifer Aniston ad for Smart Water. You can see the water with all the answers. Number 5, Dolce & Gabbana, a luxury Italian fashion company. There you can see their image. Number 6, this is an ad from Weight Watchers, and the tagline was "Treat yourself better." Number 7, this is an ad for the television program by the British Broadcasting Company called Bang Goes the Theory, and it's a science program. You can see the tagline on this ad was "Do we use our eyes to balance?" And there's some more text you can read on your own if you'd like. Number 8 is for Dettol hand sanitizer, a product that's only gotten much more important since I originally put this together. Number 9 is an ad from India for Coca-Cola. Number 10 is for a bookstore, an Italian bookstore called Feltrinelli Books. You can see the tagline there is "Reading means resisting." 11 is for a company called Clear Eyes Eye Drops. This is an ad from the 1980s. You can see the tagline, "Great looks start with clear eyes." 12 is from the Beef Association, an American organization that promotes the raising and consumption of beef. You've got the tagline there, "You gotta love strip steak, lean and succulent sitting in a tree." Number 13 is for Pringles, part of a campaign called Hot and Spicy. And number 14 is for Gatorade, and you can see there an acclaimed soccer player scoring a goal, and at the bottom it says, "Is it in you? Gatorade Orange." All right, so then what I'd ask you to do is pause this video and take a minute to work through those 14 matching up ads with appeals that I've provided so far in my video. And when you get done with it, then I'd restart the video and check how my answers and ideas align with your own. All right, so now I'm going to talk through my answers, the answers I was proposing for each of these items. There's probably room for debate on these, but I just wanted to help check your understanding of the different needs. And it's important to remember I've tried to select each of these ads to very specifically highlight one particular need. So the first one I called the need for prominence. That Jumeirah Hotels ad, you've got a woman photographed from below. She looks tall and prominent. She has a pet puma and she's in a very posh surrounding. So I thought that was intended to activate the need for prominence. Number 2, anytime we have a little baby or a small vulnerable creature, we wonder about the need to nurture. The DuPont cellophane ad has a tiny baby in a terrifying situation being inside a plastic bag, but it is clearly intended to activate that need to take care of something that's smaller and vulnerable. Number 3, I put the need for attention because the tagline is "Get Noticed," and it seems clear that Invisalign is promoting the notion that you could receive positive attention with those alternatives to braces that, as opposed to the negative attention you might fear you'd receive with traditional braces. Number 4, I would call that the need for sex. We have a naked woman and almost no information about the actual product except its title and a bottle, which are all very small compared to the high featured nudity. Number 5. Dolce & Gabbana, I would call that the need for affiliation. You have a large group of people. The ad makers are clearly trying to connect their product with that notion of community and togetherness. Number 6, this one is one that's confused people at times. I put the need for guidance. Weight Watchers is saying they know that people feel they don't make good decisions about their own diets, their own food, their own intake, and Weight Watchers is proposing that they could offer you guidance to avoid the type of binge eating or unhealthy eating that a mouthful of French fries represents. Number 7, I put the need to satisfy curiosity. That science program from the BBC is appealing to our desire to be provoked with new information and to investigate and learn about things we don't yet understand. Number 8, the need for safety. That hand sanitizer ad is emphasizing the notion that without that product, when we touch something, we're touching everything and everyone that has touched it previously. But the hand sanitizer can provide the safety that we innately desire. Number 9, the need to aggress. I mentioned that's a Coca-Cola ad from India. In the image, we can see that the Coca-Cola cans have evidently band together to rough up a Pepsi can, so this desire to aggress is typified in that ad. Number 10, I put the need for autonomy. Autonomy, remember the desire to be different than, set apart from others. The tagline for that Feltrinelli books was, reading means resisting. And so we have all that blah, 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 blah in the background, but a book reader, someone who prizes and uses books on a frequent basis, is able to block out all the blah, blah, blah of the surrounding world and focus on substantial ideas. Number 11, the clear eyes drops, the need to dominate. The tagline there was, great looks start with clear eyes, and you can see that the guy in the ad has some kind of laser-powered Cyclopsian eye daggers, and he's using that to dominate, to control the other person, and so I chose that for that one. Number 12, all we have is a giant piece of steak, so I would call that physiological needs, the desire to be fed, to be hungry and have that satisfied. Number 13, I chose the need for escape. This is actually different than the image here. The one we looked at was the Pringles customer who had inflated a hot air balloon with the sort of like breath he gathered from spicy Pringles. So it's the product, but moreover the desire to get away from the confines and restrictions of the regular world. And finally, number 14, the need to achieve. The Gatorade image had a famous player scoring a goal, and so here too, with proper hydration, Gatorade promises you can have those kinds of achievements in your life, whether it be on the sporting field or elsewhere. And of course, in class, I'd take out loud questions, but if you have any questions about these items, I'd be happy to talk through them or email you back and forth about them as well. Now, it's important to end this conversation with this. We know the reality that consumers don't need most products, and so the challenge for advertisers is to connect products to what they do need. 20% of ads rely on one appeal, and most of the ones we just looked at fall in that 20%. They're largely engineered to activate one of those needs. 60% have two appeals, so they activate two needs. 20%, what I would call the upper third, the upper fifth, I suppose, of ads, the select best, activate three or more needs. So they find three or more parts of you, the essence of you, things you want and need as a human being, and they connect those needs to their products. And when we get to our actual ad analysis, I'm going to challenge you to work with ads that exclusively activate at least three distinct needs, because I think those are the ones with the most complex messaging for us to decode and unpack. So again, most of the ads we're looking at in these examples were pretty exclusive to one appeal, but the more complicated ads we're going to look at later have connections to at least three of the 14 essential needs that we've looked at in this presentation. As a quick example, this is an ad from 2018 called Built the Future. And I would say that there's at least three complicated needs activated here. It's like a cocktail created by the advertiser to activate needs. First of all, you have the need to nurture. We have someone small and vulnerable that needs to be cared for. You have the need to achieve, the idea of going from a small child to an astronaut, a very select and privileged and special occupation. And then the need to feel safe, that we're going to have a future for our children that is safe and secure, and he's there protected by those Legos. You could make other arguments, but those are three that I would suggest. And I think that's why this is a sophisticated, complex ad, because it's activating all three of those very different needs. So the ad mixes the product with a potential cocktail of human needs. One other example, this is from Greenpeace 2018, and their tagline, Greenpeace, tries to preserve the climate and the globe, as in terms of environmental concerns. The tagline was, "Don't suck the life from our oceans." Here's the image, a painful and somewhat grotesque image, but I think it's three distinct needs, at least. The first is a need to nurture. We see that tiny sea turtle and we want to protect and care for it. The need for autonomy. We know that much of the world is not deeply concerned about issues such as disposable straws and other waste we might put in the ocean. So the ad is appealing to your desire to be different than others, to be your own person. And then finally, the need to feel safe. We want that turtle, but in a larger way, we want our planet to be safe. And this ad activates and plugs into that need. It's not just one human need, it's a cocktail of 3 essential human needs that are all activated in service to this product, which in this case is an organization, like a movement. But it's still an advertisement to try to get you to change your mind or change your attitude or change your behavior. All right, that is the end of this part of the presentation. I'm going to stop the video now, and I'd welcome any questions you have, but filling out that guide and taking that quiz and correcting it is the work for that project.